What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. So today we are going to be checking out the Season 8 runes. So it's not really an overview or anything like that. The post is going to be linked in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. But today it's going to be focused on AD carry. I play AD carry. I know a lot of you probably play AD. That's partly why you watch me, I'm guessing. But if you want me to do mid lane, top lane, jungle, support versions of these videos where we go over like all the different choices and stuff so you can have a look for your role, let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you want to as well. That would help me know that you find this kind of thing pretty cool. So we have our new 5 trees. This is replacing runes and masteries, remember? So old runes are gone, old masteries are gone. We've got both systems put into this one new thing, and we have our 5 trees, right? So for AD carries, mostly we're going to be looking at precision, which is our main AD carry tree. We might see some of us go in domination and some of us into sorcery because these are damage trees, but maybe, probably not. Inspiration, maybe, for like some cheesy stuff that you could do, but unlikely. And resolve is really more about a tank, so it doesn't really fit our kind of playstyle. I remember AD carries can do a lot of different things, and runes are really important for Season 8. So the first thing we're going to do is look at our 3 choices for precision, which are most likely going to be the ones. Well, there's 4 that I think are pretty good. So the first one is going to be press the attack. Now this one means that attacking the same champion grants endless stacking attack damage. So you're going to be getting AD. It's kind of like Fervor, but it doesn't just cap at 8 stacks. You continuously stack it, but it only stacks on this one person. Now, once you obviously see them attacking Warwick, but then once he attacks a Singe, you lose half of those stacks, and then you start stacking again on the same champion. So if you attack this Warwick 10 times, you have 10 stacks. Then you attack Singe, you're only going to have 5, continuing on from 5, if that makes sense. Next one, lethal tempo. This is probably going to be the most like go-to AD carry keystone. It's really, really good. If you see, after a couple of seconds, now it activates, and you have really, really disgusting attack speed. It's 3 seconds or 6 seconds if you're attacking a champion. This, I think, is probably going to be the most overpowered, strong one for us AD carries. This other one is basically like Warlords. It gives us move speed, a little bit of a boost, and also heals us as well when we're attacking an enemy champion. So it's obviously one of these things where it energizes, so it like builds up to 100 stacks. Basically the same as Warlords. Now, the one other one that I think is actually pretty cool and could work for champions that are a bit more ability-based, Misfortune and Jhin are the ones that I'm probably thinking more than anything else, is this Arcane Comet. So when you hit a champion with a spell, it hurls a comet at them. Now, for champions like Jhin and Misfortune, having attack speed or AD, a heal is probably the only one that is really good out of the 3. Like, the other 2 don't really make that much sense, if that makes sense. So, yeah, Jhin and Misfortune don't really get much benefit out of the precision keystones, and because keystones are so important in Season 8, you're going to be losing out on a lot, which is why we might go into a different tree. These other 2 aren't really going to be that good for us, and if we go into domination, there is one. This one is Thunderlord, so obviously, as you know, well, it's kind of like a Thunderlord's. As you know, Thunderlords is pretty good on some champions like Ezreal, I guess, as they're showing you here. It can work as kind of like a damagey burst kind of thing, but this one's actually pretty cool as well, this Predator one. So it's kind of like having a Ghost Spade active in your kit, but you do a lot more damage afterwards as well, if that makes sense. So like you're running up to someone, imagine playing Jhin, for example, you stack this up, you have this there, and then you run up to someone, you hit them, and you're going to do a bunch of extra damage. So that might be something we do. Not really too sure. And the final one that we might go for, that probably not, but we might do. Well, one, this would work with Blade the Ruined King because it slows when you attack. It's kind of like a Frozen Mallet-ish on this thing. But it also, when you use an active like this right here, that gives this little ray of frost as well, which slows in an area, which would work with Blade the Ruined King because it's just an active item. This one, though, is the one that maybe would be a thing for like cheesy stuff. You get summoner spell shards, so basically, as you can see, just flashed, he'll go back, he can change the summoner spells. Now, imagine being a Vayne, for example, who is probably going to get battered in the lane phase. If you blow your heal or something like that, and then you want to get back to lane because you're going to lose so much CS, you could change that heal while it's on cooldown for a teleport, and get back to lane and just farm, and then obviously late game, you change it for another heal or something like that. But it's not that good. Like, you're going to be missing out on a lot. So we're mostly going to go for the precision ones. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you some pages that I think are going to be really good. Now, with these 3 things, what I kind of think the champions I might use them for to start with, I've kind of like listed them out a little bit for the AD carries. Most are going to go into this lethal tempo one, the attack speed. That is really annoying, that buffering. Okay. Most are going to go into attack speed because it's really, really strong. You get up to 80% attack speed, which is insanely high. And you can go over the attack speed cap. So basically, if you have 2 or 3 attack speed items already in your inventory, you're still going to get full benefit out of this, if that makes sense. Most will go into there. Champions that stack in AD would be things like Ezreal, Lucian, Draven, Kalista, and Varus, who build attack speed but also have some kind of reason to attack the same single target for a long period of time. with Kalista with her stacking and stuff. For Tristana, who's swapping between targets and stuff, you don't really want that kind of thing. In my opinion, attack speed will be a bit better. And the heal is really like Jhin, Draven, Misfortune for... It's like more defensive, but this attack speed is almost too good to give up. So what we can do is we can go down here to the create your playstyle, and we can actually make some AD carry pages, which is what we are going to do right now. So first of all, to start with, we're going to be looking for these 3 keystones. Now, as we explained them before, lethal tempo is probably the one that most people are going to go for. It's actually really strong because it has a 6-second cooldown as well. So you'll be using this multiple times in a fight, and it's just an insane amount of extra damage. Now, this one is going to give us a shield, kind of like a Bloodthirster shield. When we get healed, part of that excess, like if they overheal you, for example, it turns into a shield. So if you're with a Soraka or a Sona or something like that, this will be really strong, especially late game as well, because obviously 50% scales. So once you're like getting big heals, like 300-400 heals, the 50% means a lot more, if that makes sense. This one, restoring 15% of your missing health, is pretty nice, but this one's probably a little bit better. While you're below 60% mana, your basic attacks, they kind of build up this focus. Then once you exit combat, you convert that into mana. So it depends. If you're going to be spamming your spells quite a lot, then this one would actually be pretty good. The takedown is nice. It is 15% health, so it is pretty ridiculous. But obviously, if you're going to be spamming spells, then you kind of want to get this. So I think Overheal is probably the strongest if you play it with a heal support. Otherwise, you would go for one of the others, right? Now, we can take 2 more runes here. This one is like a legend stacking thing. So basically, every time you kill somebody, you get a legend stack. And then, oh, wait, sorry. So you get legend stacks for killing people, but you also get them for epic monster takedowns, large monster kills, minion kills, as you see there, and every 30 points you get another stack. So maximum of 5. This means you would get 20% tenacity, 20% attack speed from this one, or you would get 5% lifesteal, I believe, from this one. So again, more damage, but if we're going to have lethal tempo, which is already giving us loads of attack speed, we probably want to get some extra lifesteal, maybe some tenacity, depends what you're against. Against like heavy crowd control, you would go here. I guess most people will go for the attack speed because it is ridiculous, but you're going to be building a lot of attack speed now. It might get a bit funky, but we'll see. For now, it's okay. This one is like your percentage damage increase. Now, this one is below 40%, which is pretty nice, but this one here, if you do up to 5% more damage to champions while below 80% health, while you're below 80% health. So this one is really good, but the problem is once you get to late game, like fully late game, you have so much lifesteal with crit and stuff that you will be topped up to 100%, sorry, with shields and everything else pretty much the entire game. This one probably won't proc really late game, but this one actually probably will. So mostly, I think this will be more damage overall. This one will be really nice, but once you get lifesteal, it kind of becomes a bit redundant, especially lifesteal with crit, because you heal for a lot. This one is dealing up to 8% more damage to champions based on how much more health they have, so it's a tank killer mastery, or rune, sorry, which is going to be pretty cool. So, for example, I guess we could go for this and just say most people struggle with tanks, right? So we'll have that there to us instead. Now, with these other ones, what we can do is we go into our secondary tree. Now, most of us are probably going to go in domination or sorcery. Now, sorcery is probably going to be, the one that most of us go for, because it gives us 12% attack speed anyway. This is why, by the way, I'm a bit hesitant to keep taking attack speed everywhere, because you get so much free now. One cool thing, though, is it means that for crit champions, getting like double crit, double attack speed crit, and then Infinity Edge will be really ridiculously strong. But even just getting one of the attack speed items now, because you have the attack speed here. Now, sorcery is really strong because we can get this. Gathering Storm. Every 10 minutes, you gain AP or AD. Now, at 60 minutes, you gain 126 AD, which is absolutely ridiculous. Most of us will probably get to the 30-40 minute part. 36 AD, 60 AD. The 40-minute one is basically like having an Infinity Edge almost in your inventory for free just from this rune. So this is absolutely ridiculous, and I think most people will take this. We could also get the Scorch thing. Obviously, you can't take them in the same row, though, so you can't get it now. But if you hit them with an ability, it burns them afterwards, which is pretty cool as well. Other ones, apart from that, this one isn't going to be that good because it's just your ultimate cooldown. For some champions, maybe. This one is going to give us some mana, so if you're spamming stuff all the time, that would be pretty cool. This one's actually pretty nice, though, because it's like a Hex Drinker shield, but built into your runes. So once you get to 30% health, you get a magic damage shield. So if you're struggling to survive like a Syndra, for example, or something like that, you can take this instead. So if we have a look at this this could be an example build. And I think this is probably going to be one of the most standard things, because going into sorcery for Gathering Storm is absolutely ridiculous for an AD carry. Unless the meta changes to be much like quicker in Season 8, having this kind of AD for free is absolutely crazy. It's giving us so much more healing from lifesteal, bigger crits, more damage, obviously. Like the crits and the lifesteal are going to be the biggest things as to why it is actually ridiculous. But yeah, so we're going to get this keystone. So we get 30 to 80% attack speed based on our level for 3 seconds or 6 seconds if we hit a champion. We'll be over healing, so we'll have a free Bloodthirster shield with this. We'll then be getting more attack speed for just basically playing the game, for getting these legend stacks. And then we're also going to be really good at taking down tanks. We'll have the 8% more damage. Plus, with the Last Whisper, the percentage damage on that is going to be crazy strong. 12% attack speed from Sorcery. Gathering Storm to get more AP or AD, but obviously we want the AD part. And then we gain a magic shield when we're low on health. So if we're trying to like fight the enemy mid laner, we'll actually stand a better chance. It's one of the biggest problems playing AD is the mid laner can obviously one burst us quite a lot. Now with this is the precision tree, obviously we could go into domination for our secondary. There are a few things that would be pretty cool for this one. For example, Eyeball Collection, you gain AD, so it actually like 1.4 attack damage permanently on champion takedown and half of it on war takedown. So it's okay. It's probably going to give you like, I'd say maybe 20 AD at most in a game. The others on this line aren't that great though. This one's pretty cool though, because when you damage an enemy champion, you actually heal. So if you struggle in the lane phase, doing this will let you have a bit more freedom, I guess, a bit more healing, which is pretty nice. And even this one actually, damaging champions that are impaired movement. So kind of like if they're slowed or something like that, you deal true damage to them as well. So late game, that's actually going to be pretty decent. Even early, that's not bad, like 12 true damage on top. But I think we probably take like the healing will be quite good for a bit more of a defensive kind of thing. And this one here, you heal for a percentage of the damage dealt by your abilities. So if you're playing Jhin, for example, Misfortune, and you wanted to be using your abilities for a lot of your damage, then you could take something like this. This is not really though for the attack speed crit kind of champion. The crit one would probably go into Sorcery. Precision and Resolve. Like, Resolve doesn't really give us that much. There are a few things that might be pretty cool, like this one, Demolish. You charge up a powerful attack against the tower over 4 seconds, so you just have to be kind of around the tower to get it, and then you deal an absolutely massive amount of damage. 375 plus 20% of your max health. Obviously, the 20% is not designed for us. It's designed for like a tank or a bruiser, but that kind of siege thing might be pretty cool. The others don't really offer that much, to be honest. Like, you could get some more permanent health out of that. You could get like a heal when you're taking like trades and stuff like that over the next 10 seconds, which might be nice, but really not amazing. This one, finally, for inspiration, you could get like a kind of charged flash. Not really that useful for an AD carry, because if you get ganked, you can't use it anyway. You have this futures market, which means you can like borrow gold, which would be pretty cool. But apart from that, not really that worth. And maybe this one, it reduces your Guardian Angel timing, which would be really good for late game and gives you a stasis effect. So if like a Zed roam down or something, for example, you could have that. So this could be, you get more attack speed out of this one as well, but it feels a bit bad. This by far is going to be the most damage in my opinion. You would definitely get Sorcery, and then you get something like this orb. This is probably what a page is going to look like. If we go for something a little bit different, like a Lucian, for example, Lucian is probably going to go for pressing the attack, because you're going to be stacking this a lot and you're single target, or like a Kalista, for example. If you don't have a Soraka, then maybe, and you want to be fighting a bit more and stuff, then you go Triumph, so you get your takedowns restoring more health. You would go probably for lifesteal, I guess. It would be pretty good. Like 5% lifesteal is actually pretty decent. I feel like attack speed is a bit better, and you don't really build attack speed, so actually sticking with attack speed will be pretty good. But then having this, when you're a duelist and you're diving in more, you're going to do 5% more damage as well. So this is probably what it's going to look like. There is one other thing I want to cover quickly. For Sorcery, we could go Comet. We could then go into Nullifying Orb again. This one isn't actually that great for us, which is kind of sad, but we actually could either get this one above 70% health. We gain up to 28 AD, which is really, really cool for Jhin this is. So we look into then Precision afterwards, and we can get stuff like restoring this. We can get the extra damage as well. Probably this one. So this, for example, means that when Jhin uses his ultimate or a Q or a W or something like that, a Comet is going to launch at them, or a Misfortune. So this will be like the caster page, I think, for an AD carry, whereas the other one would be more of an attack speed based one, if that makes sense. But this has gone on way too long. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed and had a quick look at what we could expect from next season, Season 8, with our runes for AD carry. But yeah, if you want me to do this for other roles probably a bit quicker, then let me know. Thank you very much for watching. But for now, I will catch you in tomorrow's video.